Hello and welcome to I've Seen Everything, where the name is ironic and the reactions are... Hello everyone, my name's Andrew and welcome to another movie reaction from me to you out here on the ISE YouTube channel, and we have a special one today, at least one that's special to me. Now for those of you who clicked on the video, you may already be familiar, well I'm presuming if you're watching you're familiar with this movie, The House on Haunted Hill. This one is a favorite for me. This one is a movie I've seen a great many times, although to be fair it has been a while since I've watched it. So even though I've seen it a number of times, I'm looking forward to being surprised by some of the stuff that I've forgotten about that's in this movie. This is a classic of old Hollywood horror, of 1950s horror, probably my favorite Vincent Price horror movie. One of the first ones that I watched when I actually started making my way through his movies. For the longest time when I grew up, I didn't really have any idea who Vincent Price was. Oh, he's the old inventor from Edward Scissorhands. Oh yeah, he's also the voice that does the monologue and the laugh during the Thriller video. And then somewhere along the way I finally got wind of the idea that he was this iconic actor within horror cinema. So I went back and started making my way through some of his work, and The House on Haunted Hill was one of the very first ones I watched. As I remember it, he plays some kind of a wealthy but not very well liked individual. He has a pretty terrible marriage with his wife, and he invites all of these people to this house on Haunted Hill to spend the entire night there to earn a certain amount of money. So you end up with an interesting collection of people there. Specifically why he's had all these people come here and offer them this money, I do not necessarily remember. I know it has something to do with him and his wife, but I don't remember the exact ending and plot of the movie. It's been that long since I've seen it that I've lost certain key details, but I do imagine I'll be reminded as I watch through here. But let's not waste any more time talking about the movie. Let's get to watching the movie. Real quick before we do though, I want to be sure to invite you to check out the Patreon. The full-length reaction to this movie is available over on the Patreon right now. There's full-length reactions to other movies available over there, exclusive television show reactions, all kinds of stuff. I hope you go check it out and consider becoming a patron. Any support that you offer over here or over there is always greatly appreciated. And speaking of over here, if you'd be so kind as to go ahead and hit the like and subscribe button, click the bell so you can see when I'm putting out new videos. And that is it, folks. That's all I have to say on the front end of our video here. Let us get to watching 1959's The House on Haunted Hill. Here we go. Man, blood curdling. I've used those screams in so many different like horror type things and stuff that I've edited together over the years because this is public domain.
The ghosts are moving tonight. May I introduce myself?
At this point, you know, we got screams and chains. Do what you got to do, Watson Pritchard.
Since then, I've owned the house. I've only spent one night there, and when they found me in the morning, I was almost dead.
Okay, but why would you keep a house like that? I'd be looking to offload that as soon as I could. It's a wonderful house. You just might end up dead if you stay the night there.
There'll be food and drink and ghosts, perhaps even a few murders. You're all invited. If any of you will spend the next 12 hours in this house, I'll give you each $10,000.
Wow, $10,000. That must have been so much more money in 1959. I think in the remake it's $1 million. So it shows you how much they had to spike it back up.
It was my wife's idea to have our guests come in funeral cars. She's so amusing.
That's the second time he said she's so amusing. In that kind of condescending way, like he doesn't actually find her amusing.
The party's starting now, and you have until midnight to find the house on Haunted Hill.
That's fairly predatory as well. It's like, hey, we're getting all these people that are in desperate financial situations to take a risk they shouldn't so they can win this money. But also, how many other stories like this have started just that way? I think they already know the deal at this point, what they're there for, what they've signed up for, but maybe not. I don't remember for sure.
It isn't a very warm welcome, is it?
Only the ghosts in this house are glad we're here.
How hard up for money is Watson Pritchard to risk something like this again? You know, crazy.
He's quite wealthy, isn't he?
Millions.
A $50,000 party for only 5 people is a little steep, even for a millionaire.
Also, they do already know about the money, but also millions, the way they said it back then. That would be like, that has to be like being a billionaire today, I'd imagine.
Who closed the door?
If I'm remembering right, we're going to see lots of classic things in here, cheap tricks like that. Doors closing on their own and, you know, different things falling. A jump scare is a jump scare. Those things have always been consistent. The things that are necessary to cause a jump scare have changed over time, I feel.
Our guests are here, unfortunately still alive.
Did he say fortunately still alive or unfortunately still alive?
I had a reason for inviting each guest, from psychiatrist to typist, drunk to jet pilot. They all need money. Now let's see if they're brave enough to earn it.
So he has a horrible relationship with her. They both kind of hate each other. And he is one of these bored, wealthy, sadistic people with a penchant for the macabre.
Will you join me?
No, thank you. And I haven't poisoned it.
It's always good to know that.
Yeah, that doesn't make it any more suspicious or anything like that. I always want people to tell me they haven't poisoned things when they give them to me. It really sets my mind at ease.
Of all my wives, you're the least agreeable.
But still alive.
Oh, she's the fourth, they said. The other three died? I didn't remember that part.
Would you go away for $1 million tax-free? You want it all, don't you?
I deserve it all.
So to keep his fortune, he's killed his other wives to avoid having to pay out?
You remember the fun we had when you poisoned me?
Something you ate, the doctor said.
They're both talking an awful lot about killing each other. I mean, at least they have humor about it, but it's certainly dark humor.
This is what she used on my brother and her sister. Hacked them to pieces.
I mean, Watson Pritchard, I don't want to argue with you, but that doesn't seem like it would be big enough to hack people apart.
The wife, probably in a rage, threatened her husband with a knife and then, carried away by hysteria, took a swing at him and simply went on from there.
How many people did she kill, Mr. Pritchard?
Only 2. They whisper to each other and then cry.
Wow. Well, that's quite a selling point of staying the night in a house like that. You have 2 severed heads that float around whispering to each other and crying. Also, interesting to see a representation of psychiatry in the late 50s and what they thought of it.
Once the door is locked, there's no way out. There's no electricity, no phone, no one within miles, no way to call for help.
Like her coffin.
Well, it certainly seems a cheerful way to put people at ease for the evening. Also, a sign of the times, the idea that you could exist all night without electricity. Something that certainly would seem foreign today.
Ghosts being only creations of hysteria, your party should be a success.
Well, Pritchard here promises us genuine ghosts.
7 now, maybe more before morning.
Watson Pritchard doesn't seem to be somebody that has a sense of humor, for sure. Especially considering he knows the people that have been killed in the house. He truly must be desperate for the money.
Blood. A young girl was killed here. Whatever got her wasn't human. Don't stand there.
Apparently it's not done bleeding. That seems like a problematic part of the house, is that blood randomly drips from a part of the ceiling.
It's too late. They've marked you.
Who would want to haunt me?
I would say any self-respecting male ghost.
I guess that's what passes for a compliment, that you would be attractive enough to haunt.
All this belonged to a Mr. Norton, who didn't die here. He was electrocuted later.
Oh, well, as long as it was later. Being electrocuted, perfectly normal thing,
He did experimenting with wines, but his wife didn't think it was any good. So he filled a vat with acid and threw her in. She was supposed to stay down, but the bones came up.
I'm seeing some foreshadowing to something I think I might remember. But also, yeah, just as you do, fill a vat with acid and throw someone in it.
Destroys everything with hair and flesh.
Now, Mr. Lauren seems as though he didn't know that. Like, this is news to him. I do wonder how they created that effect, the bubbling and all that kind of stuff.
I mean, what did he tell you?
Mr. Lawrence said everybody'd get $10,000.
But he didn't say anything about being locked in.
No.
Ah, so there was part of the deal that was not revealed to them before they got there, because he figured they probably wouldn't stay otherwise. Yeah, I don't think this is the kind of place where you should go around opening random doors. But to be fair, this is a horror movie. And what kind of story can we have if someone doesn't make a stupid decision?
Does it go anywhere? Lance!
Things are getting spooky. That's not necessarily the kind of behavior you expect out of a door. But if you're all alone in a basement with a vat of acid... And that's also not something you expect. And she just moonwalks back out of there, like Homer Simpson into the bushes.
Lance is gone, and there's a ghost.
Did she say Lance is gone?
And said a ghost was down there.
You all right?
Nothing that money won't cure. Just to bump my head.
Let's get a bandage on that.
I don't think you bumped your head. I think someone hit you. See, that's this thing. I've forgotten so much about this movie. I don't remember who all the players are, or if there's actual ghosts.
I wonder why they didn't kill him. He didn't bump his head. They hit him.
You figure there'd have to be actual ghosts, at least for this story. It's like, who else killed the other people there?
Weren't you a little frightened at the time?
Well, yes.
That, Mr. Lauren, is hysteria.
But then, Doctor, how do you explain what happened to Lance?
Yeah, can't really explain that one, can you, Doctor? Did hysteria hit him over the head? Foolish psychiatrist, doesn't have answers. That's the message, I think.
Would you like a drink, Lance?
No, thanks.
Yeah, Lance is not done exploring down there. He wants to know who hit him. Yeah, go right back down there again. Let's see if it happens again.
Someone or something was in here when I came in. And if the door was locked, how did it get out? What you saw might have been a ghost, Nora, but what was in here with me was no ghost.
I mean, it's a fair point. Although, to be fair, when they came back, the door was unlocked. So whatever was in there could have left by the door before they returned.
Now, I'm going to knock on the other wall. When you hear me, you knock on this wall.
Oh yeah, leave her in a dark room by herself. That works out in these kind of movies. Boom. I always remembered that part. You know, because that's how you just stand around with your hands up like this and floating out of the room.
Where'd it come from?
From in here.
Why don't you go check her dark doorway? She's probably hanging out in the shadows again.
I'm Annabelle Lauren. You must be Miss Manning. Why did you come here?
He said he'd give me $10,000.
How long have you known my husband?
I just met him tonight.
I was about to say, I wonder if she suspects that there's something between her husband and her. Like if she thinks that this is going to be the next wife to replace her.
Which is my room?
I believe this is it.
Thank you, Mrs. Lauren.
Annabelle Lance.
Ah, so she's concerned about her husband having a relationship with someone else, but she's willing to flirt with Lance. So she's just as bad as what she suspects him of.
She was just frightened.
And mad at me, I think. I kidded her about it.
I wouldn't joke about anything else that happens here tonight.
She's smiling and sociable, and then all of a sudden she gets this really serious look and demeanor. It's like, we're all in danger. Don't make any jokes.
What is with this party?
This is no party. He's planning something.
Does she suspect that he's planning to kill her that night? I wonder.
I'm his fourth wife. The first simply disappeared. The other two died. His doctor said they died of heart attacks. 2 girls in their 20s.
That is not necessarily what you generally see from people in their 20s, dying from heart attacks. Not impossible, but...
My husband is sometimes insane with jealousy. Nothing matters to him then.
Would he hurt you?
He would kill me if he could.
You know, if he ends up hating the people he marries, why does he keep getting married? I think that would be a fair question at this point.
Yes, I lie awake nights wondering why I married you. It was rather a mistake.
You didn't marry me, dear. I married you. Unpleasant, but no mistake.
Yeah, talk about two people who have a horrible relationship and who definitely should not be married to each other. Although they seem like they might be terrible people regardless.
It's almost midnight, Nora. We're all going to get together down in the living room.
All right, Mr. Lauren. I'll be right down.
That is disturbing. It does not look like an actual head, but I'm assuming that's what it's supposed to be. But it looked gross, that's for sure. Ooh.
Come with us before he kills you.
That's not really a way to get someone's trust, to sneak up on them in the dark and put your hand over their mouth. They also keep coming after her.
I don't want to stay here.
Well, you don't have to yet. They haven't locked up the house.
That's Jonas Slides and his wife. They've been caretakers here for years. She's blind, you know.
She might be blind, but she goes around the house sneaking up on people. And making, scary faces and stuff.
If any of you decide not to stay, you must leave with the caretakers now. You won't have a chance to change your minds later.
Well, that is quite the ultimatum. You better make the right choice.
It isn't midnight yet. Who told them they could leave?
They never leave before midnight.
Well, they've gone now.
No, it seems as though the choice has already been made. I guess the real choice was showing up to begin with.
We have some party favors for you in these little coffins.
I do remember that he does have an interesting idea of what party favors are here.
It's my wife's idea. I must say, I think it's rather dangerous. I suppose you all know how to use one of these things, but in case you don't, pull the trigger.
All of this stuff was apparently his wife's idea. He keeps saying all of that. She doesn't seem like she's somebody who's very on board with the whole idea. So how is it her idea? She came up with it but didn't think he'd actually do it?
Throw these guns away. They won't do you any good.
I agree with Pritchard on that point.
Yeah, I think, Have Pritchard take another drink and carry his gun around.
Don't you approve of our little party favors?
No, they're lethal weapons, and you're handing them out to everybody.
Oh, I'm sure we're not going to go running around the house shooting each other, aren't you?
She's also very cavalierly pointing that around. None of these people have apparently ever studied gun safety.
You said they found hands and feet, but they never found any heads. Would you all like to see one of those heads? Just follow me.
I don't think I want to see it if you're shouting in my face like that. That makes me a bit scared. What if you're going to try to take my head?
But it was in there. A woman's head.
Nora, I think you're a little upset. Would you care for a sedative?
Get out! Get out, all of you!
Nora is tired of people making her feel like she's going crazy. That's what Nora's tired of. And I agree with her. She's been snuck up on multiple times, left in a dark basement, someone put a head in her bag, trying to drive her out of her mind.
Do you think there really was a head in her suitcase?
I don't know.
A thing like that would put me right over the edge.
Yeah, I'd imagine to put any of us over the edge. You walk in to unpack your bag and there's a head in it. Don't get much more gruesome than that.
I don't believe in ghosts, nor in frightening women. In Nora's case, it's gone far enough. Perhaps too far.
What do you suggest we do about it, Doctor?
Don't frighten her anymore.
Yeah, I'm starting to get the sense that pushing Nora over the edge is part of the plan, whatever the plan is, which is pretty, the whole thing is messed up, but that's pretty messed up. You're going to drive a woman out of her mind for whatever your selfish purpose is. Well, at least she's not the only one who saw a head. Now, that is a way to have a severe misunderstanding, go running through a house with a head. Pritchard wonders if he's had too much to drink. I don't think that's Nora. Also, the finger had a wedding ring on it. I think it's Lauren's wife.
Nora?
Nope. Your wife. Apparently you got your wish. Unless you didn't mean it all those times telling her about it, you were just joking.
Nora?
Please hide me. Please hide me.
What's the matter?
Hide me.
What if Nora did it? What if she ended up being the killer? Who would see that twist coming? I don't think that's the case. I think I'd remember that.
You thought I was dead.
Who?
Mr. Lord. It's dark, but it must have been him.
Well, that's quite an accusation if you haven't actually seen the person who did it. There's a number of people there.
I've got to go downstairs. If he thinks you're dead, he won't come here. And I'll get back as soon as I can. You'll be all right.
I don't know. Every time someone leaves her alone, it seems like things go bad. And she gets the brunt of all of it, too. No one else is being tortured by this stuff. Doesn't seem like, anyway. Well, that's not suspicious or anything. Frederick Lauren sneaking through dark hallways by himself. And into her room. Oh, no, her door's locked. This is his wife's room.
So beautiful, so greedy, so cold.
Speaking badly about her even after she's gone. Quite a lot of bad blood between the two of them.
Why did you come into this room?
Your wife isn't there anymore. She's already joined them.
Look, Pritchard, I've had enough of your spook talk. Get out, you sot, and don't come back into this room again.
Is he actually upset that his wife is dead after everything they said to each other? He was sitting there insulting her to her face, even though she's already gone. Right there. Still showing that he had disdain for her.
Isn't there some way we can get out of this house now?
The only door to the outside is made of steel. The bars of the windows are set in solid stone. We gotta stay.
Why would you build a house like that? Why would you build a house that's like a prison, basically? What was this house used for before they came here? Imagine when this house is built and all this stuff is put in, trying to explain that to the builder.
One of us was almost killed by a falling chandelier. One of us was mysteriously slugged. One of us has been driven to the brink of absolute hysteria, and one of us is dead.
It doesn't seem like a very successful sleepover party that he's having. A lot of pretty terrible things have happened already.
Do you think your wife killed herself?
No, she was murdered by one of you.
Or you, Mr. Lawrence?
I don't think his wife is the type of person to kill herself, especially with the interactions we've seen her in already throughout this movie.
We were all strangers to your wife. Only you had a motive for murder.
And apparently had a considerable motive.
What husband hasn't had 1,000 opportunities to do it in such a way so that he'd never be suspected? I'm not such a fool as to hang my wife from a ceiling by a rope.
The thing he takes exception to is that if he was going to kill his wife, he'd find a better way to do it than what happened. It's like, I wouldn't be such an unimaginative killer.
I just know that I'm going to my room. And if anybody comes in, I'll shoot him. Or her.
And if we all stay in our rooms, we'll be safe.
Well, then everything should work out if we all have guns. I sure hope nobody has to go to the bathroom, because this could get bloody quick.
Rooms? Guns? Vince, I tell you, it doesn't make any difference. They aren't through with us yet.
Watson showed up this evening just to say weird, ghostly, far-off things. It's like everything he says indicates that he is the last person in the world that should have ever come back to this place.
Good night, Doctor.
Why do I get the sense that all of them in their rooms is what he wanted? That sets his plan in motion, whatever it is. Hey, most people would be afraid to open the door if they saw someone trying to get in. He went straight into it. She just keeps getting bled on. Is she gonna die? I honestly don't remember. Maybe they just want her to be freaked out that she's gonna die. There you go. Now you're starting to figure out how they're getting around so easily. Not being seen by anyone. Does that secret passage provide a way out, though? That'd be the interesting question. Yeah, step backward out of it. It's going to sit there while the thing wraps you up. Alright, well, that's not something you ever expect to see. Is the woman who died earlier that night floating up to your window with a rope around her neck. And just like the lady backing into the shadows, she floats away and takes her rope with her. Yeah, give a terrified person a gun also. That's almost as bad as giving the guy who's been drinking all night a gun.
No.
Shoot her. I don't care if she's hanging up there or not. Shoot her. Alright, we have some kind of monster now. We've gone beyond ghosts. Someone is clearly trying to drive Nora out of her mind. Either that or it's actual ghosts and they're all just like fixated on her like she's their next victim to join them. I mean, that's just not a very polite way to open the door. You don't know what he wants.
You look downstairs, and I'll look up here.
Why not together?
There may be only minutes, seconds left of someone's life. Why waste time?
Well, because splitting up in a haunted house is a horrible idea, and that's how other people get dead. But also, we have to have a movie. So sometimes that's the only reason certain decisions are made.
Every detail was perfect.
Oh, she's breathing. So what was that out the window, if she's not actually dead?
We've done it. A perfect crime.
Has she killed him?
Not yet.
Oh, I did not remember that at all. They're trying to drive her over the edge so she'll kill Frederick Lauren.
Wonderful. Just the touch that finally drove her into complete hysteria.
It'll be worth all of our planning, darling.
That's messed up. You drive a perfectly innocent woman to commit murder, wreck the rest of her life with trauma and potentially spending the rest of her life in jail.
And now Nora's almost out of her mind with fear. The heads, the music, you're hanging. I tell you, when Frederick walks in there, she'll shoot him.
Yeah, these two people are pretty horrible in and of themselves. I'm not defending Frederick Lauren, but I'm on Nora's side. What is it that would bring a flame down like that, I wonder? How does that effect even work? I'd imagine you'd have to have them like gassed or something so you can turn the gas down. Oh, the idea of having her shoot him in the dark or something?
No.
Ooh. Can't be that simple. Can't be that clean and simple. I don't buy it. All right. Well, he sure had his plan laid out, didn't he? Who would have thought that he would have had a handy vat of acid there to use?
David?
Yeah, that might be concerning. I wouldn't just be standing there as all the doors close. I'd be running for one, especially since they're all closing so slowly. Vat of acid is still open, and something appears to have recently been put in there. Okay. So, someone was thrown in there. Whose skeleton is it? Oh, it just keeps coming. It's just rising up out of there. That's pretty scary. You know, generally, when someone's thrown into acid, their bones aren't supposed to come up and start walking around on their own.
At last you got it all.
Wow. Is he actually haunting her, or is it just in her head? Yeah, maybe pay attention to where you're backing up. You're headed for the acid. I mean, that's not a terribly effective way to deal with a haunted skeleton. Just sit there and scream at it. At least try to run and go somewhere. Ah, so it wasn't him that ended up in the acid. He was puppeting a dead man's skeleton to kill his wife. And he had this whole rig set up already, so he had this planned. Wow, that is pretty dark.
The crime you two planned was indeed perfect. It's a pity you didn't know when you started your game of murder that I was playing too.
He does have an ice cold delivery. So maybe he's going to try to argue self-defense. It was like he found out they had a plot to kill him and he was just turning it back on them.
I've shot Mr. Lorne. He's down in the wine cellar.
Alive?
I don't think so.
Yeah, also, how did he survive her shooting him? Did she just miss? What happened?
You didn't shoot anyone, my dear. I loaded your gun with blanks.
Just hers. He was really betting on it being her then.
Trent and my wife were planning to kill me. They failed. Trent tried to throw me in the vat. My wife stumbled and fell. I'm ready for justice to decide if I'm innocent or guilty.
I mean, I suppose that's true. Like, technically. He's really stretching it with the wife one. With Trent, he might be able to argue self-defense. With his wife, he manipulated her to fall into the vat.
Now there are 9. There'll be more, many more. They're coming for me now. And then they'll come for you.
What a line to go out on. You know, if this house is killing people, tear it down. Seems pretty simple. All right, folks, let's go to the wrap-up. I know they made a sequel to the remake of this. I think the sequel was straight to video, but I would be interested. It's like I would have been interested to see like a line of like bad sequels to this one. It's like, oh, there'll be more ghosts, many more. First they'll come for me, then they'll come for you. It's like, well, let's see some of those stories. Like, why would people keep coming to this house where people just end up dying? I mean, he still believes in the ghosts. We didn't really see any signs of actual ghosts. Would have been interesting to actually see I don't think they did prequels back then, but like movies that actually show the stories of these other people that supposedly died, or other people that would come to the house for different reasons that would end up dying. Seems like you could have done more around it, but I do wonder if the sequel that they did to the remake is any good. So for those of you watching, obviously you'd seen this movie if you wanted to go ahead and watch the reaction with me. Have you seen the remake? Have you seen the sequel to the remake? What do you think of them? As I said, I believe I've seen the remake. I haven't seen the sequel, but years and years ago. I'm talking like decades ago. So I don't remember much. I remember Jeffrey Rush plays the Vincent Price role. I don't remember a lot else about who's in it. And I remember that they have some kind of, like, this one just goes straight into the house. That one had some kind of like preamble where you see that he owns, if I'm remembering right, he owns like an amusement park, but it's like a macabre kind of amusement park. I remember like seeing a thing where they make people think that the roller coaster car they're on is going to go flying off the tracks because they see the one ahead of them go flying off, but it's full of dummies and it's all faked. And I remember another one, he's being interviewed through all of this, where there's an elevator ride that they make look like it's going to fall. It all ends up being faked or something like that, if I'm remembering correctly. I think that was that movie. But as far as the rest of the movie, once they get to the actual house and how much they stick to this movie and the story and, like, you know, how they go about everything, I don't really remember how it all shakes out, and who survives or any of that. But I always enjoy this movie. It had been a while since I'd seen it. I'm glad to be able to watch it again, to be refreshed on what happened. I mean, you could tell, I mean, this is a very specific type of movie that I think William Castle was well known for. I think this is one of his better known works. But just as a fun, you know, kind of Saturday popcorn horror movie, but even still, in generations to come, holds up and is entertaining to watch. I don't know if I said this on the way in. This movie not only has the distinction of being the first public domain movie that I've watched out here on the channel, but also I made the mistake when I was a younger father of showing this movie to my children when they were still like under 10 years old. I figured, oh, it's an old horror movie. It's like showing them, like, you know, Bela Lugosi's Dracula or, you know, Boris Karloff's Frankenstein. It's like, is that kind of stuff really scary to people these days? If you show it to kids that are young enough, it probably is. That was a mistake on my part. They were scared of this movie for quite a while. They might still be scared of it. I don't know. They're grown-ups now. I think they've probably watched scarier stuff than this by now. But yeah, not my finest moment. But, you know, you make mistakes sometimes like that. But they enjoyed watching it. You know, they always talked about it being scary, but they always talked about thinking it was like a cool movie, and they wanted to watch it again. It goes to show there are some things that can definitely be dated over time, things that will no longer work as well. There are definitely some horror movie things that were much scarier in this time when this movie was made than they are now, like the severed heads and that kind of thing. The story doesn't make a ton of coherent sense. You know, the main parts of it do, but there's certain things that they just kind of do in order to get shock value for the time period, be scary. But, you know, if you love horror movies, you love all kinds of different horror movies, you love campy, kind of, you know, old style horror movies, there is a lot of fun to be had in watching something like this. There's a lot of fun to be had in watching a lot of Vincent Price's catalog when it comes to stuff like this. He did a lot of movies like this. This is the era in which he was the most popular as a horror actor. But he did other things too. He did things beyond this. I forget exactly when he stopped doing these kind of movies. Like I said, Edward Scissorhands was his last role. That was a more minor role, and he was very old by that point, and that was the early to mid 90s. So as far as being a regular actor, I feel like he had to have stopped a decent amount before that. I get the feeling he came back to do that because the role was minimal and Tim Burton was likely such a big Vincent Price fan, I'm sure. But there's movies that will always hold a certain place in your heart if you experience them at a certain time, if they represented a certain thing to you, memories that you share with people about them. House on Haunted Hill will always be one of those movies for me. So one more time before we get out of here, I want to make sure to invite you to check out the Patreon. The full-length reaction to this movie is available over on the Patreon right now. There's all kinds of other full-length movie reactions over there, exclusive television show reactions, all kinds of stuff. I hope you go check it out and consider becoming a patron. Any support that you offer over here or over there is always greatly appreciated. And speaking of over here, if you'd be so kind as to go ahead and hit the like and subscribe button, click the bell so you can see when I'm putting out new videos. And a special thank you to my Seen Everything patrons, Aunt Vess and Stevie. Thank you so much for your support. And that is it, folks. Thanks for stopping by to watch this one with me today, and I will see you on the next video. Take care.